Okay, today we're going to take apart and clean, reassemble a Honda 120 or 160 carburetor. Basically, the only things you'll need for this would be a 10 millimeter wrench or socket, a flathead screwdriver, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Before you may not know the condition of all the gaskets and the parts inside the carburetor when you go to do this process, so you might want to um, buy some spare parts so you have them on hand. That way, if you can't reuse some of them that look pretty worn, you can replace those pieces. The number for the product, you get these gaskets in here, and then there's your product number there. I would make sure whenever you're buying parts for either your engine or your carburetors that you do order from a genuine Honda dealer or somebody that's selling genuine Honda parts. I've seen it before where people bought things off of Amazon or some random websites, and yes, they might be compatible, but when it comes to teching, it could disqualify you. All right, we'll get started here. There is no specific order you have to take the things apart, so do it in whatever order you feel comfortable with. But as you take each piece off, inspect it, check it out, clean it up, and then set it to the side. I start with the bolts in the bowl, take those apart, and then I move on to other parts and pieces. So, okay, when you do take these bolts out, you may have some fuel left in your bowl that may leak out, so you just have to clean that up. And then you have your float here. To remove this, pull this little pin, slides right out, set that to the side, and then you can lift this up out of here. Now with this, you just want to make sure that everything's moving. Just want to make sure that everything's moving freely. Set that to the side for now. I'm going to take everything apart, and then I'll start inspecting and cleaning it. And then you can remove this gasket if you want to inspect it. Usually I'll just visually inspect it. If it looks okay, then I leave it be. And take this top portion off. Just need a Phillips head screwdriver and remove this cover. And then take this lever out. And then there's also this piece here, which a replacement does come in the kit, so you can replace that if you need to. I'm actually going to grab something different to get that out. Okay. Come on out. There we go. Now you can kind of see, maybe, but there is some dirt buildup and all in there, so we'll make sure we get that all cleaned out. Then you take this adjustment screw out of here. And that will allow us to get to this plug. For that, you can just get underneath it with a flathead screwdriver and kind of pop that up, pull that out. And then that has a small gasket that comes in your kit as well. So you can inspect that, make sure that's in good condition. And next, we'll take the jets out. So for this, I have this flathead and it is shaved down. So in order to get into this space, you have another style flathead. It might have a wide head and won't allow you to get in there. So if you have an old one, maybe you shave it down, or if you have a flathead that'll reach in there, I'll just keep it handy in case you ever need it, and just know that that's the one you're going to be using. So put some pressure down, and you will start pulling that jet out. Should pop out when it's threaded down enough. There it is. We have that. We'll clean that and make sure that's clean. And then you have another one in there. If it doesn't just come out like that, you can also go inside here, and the tip of it should be sticking up, and you can just take your screwdriver, press it down, and it should pop right out of there. All right, I'm going to start the process of cleaning all the parts, pieces, making sure everything's in good condition, seeing if anything needs to be replaced. And I'm going to do this basically just with carburetor cleaner and some rags. I will be back to show you a few things to look out for. Now for the jets, I like to put a nozzle on the carb cleaner. That way I can focus the stream in there and force it in to make sure that there's no blockages in any of these little holes. Okay, got everything cleaned. Everything looks good. It's a fairly newer carburetor, so there wasn't anything that looked like I needed to replace. So now we'll start the process of reinstalling everything and putting it back together. Start with the jets. I'll send that down into the hole. I follow up with this, and then you just make sure that you have your flat head and facing towards you. Make sure that's good and tight in there. Then we can start placing our float and our bowl back together. Set that on there. Your little pin that you'll fish in there as well. There we go. Now that that's on, place our bowl back on. Then we take our bolt that holds the bolt on there. Get that threaded in and tightened up. That's not good. Now we'll take our drain bolt and tighten that on there. And while we're at it, put this back together. For that, we just turn this on and tighten it up. I'll flip it back over. Take your plug, put that in there. You'll line it up so it sits down in there, and then make sure you're pushing it all the way down, and it doesn't try and push back up on you. You put your adjustment screw back in. Then we can go over here. I'm going to drop this back in. And we can put latch on there. You got this tensioner washer. It'll go on there. And then you can set the cap on. And drop your screws in. And there you have it. Everything's back assembled, cleaned, and ready to go for your next race day. All you gotta do is throw it back on the engine. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if there's anything else you have questions on or things you would like me to do demonstrations on, and I will do my best to bring that content to you. So, talk to you guys next time.